Tom Kloza, co-founder of Oil Price Information Service, joins us now. Feels like we're just susceptible to the headlines on Omicron for oil, and as they've improved, the prices have gone back up past $70. What are you expecting to happen next?
Well, it's very odd because you have these feelings that if we do see $4 gasoline generally in the spring, that'll mean that we're on the other side of COVID. So that'll be really, really good news, although people will complain about it. So I'm a big fan of Meg and her interviews, and I hope we get there. Having said that, we are going to see higher prices, and we haven't seen a recovery like this in a long time. And you've got smart people in the world of crude analysis who are suggesting that we could go to 125 to 150, and smart people at 40. I think it's going to be front-end loaded. I think we'll see higher prices for crude in the beginning of the year, and we will see a gasoline spike that's brought on by what I would call an interval year, where we've closed a number of U.S. and North American or Caribbean refineries, and we might see a demand surge. So I would watch out in that March to May period where we've seen similar gasoline spikes. And it may be, there was only one state that broke the record in 2021. That was California. I think we might see a dozen or so break their all-time records next year.
Speaking of, how about what's happening in Europe? And the gas spike there came down sharply today. But what is that going to look like in 2022 in terms of demand and prices, and whether it could spill over to the rest of the world?
You really need natural gas to run refineries and smelters and all sorts of industrial things. And what we've learned from Europe in kind of maybe a too quick embrace of the energy transition is you need to plan it well. You need to have sort of a safecracker's hands. They probably moved a little bit too quickly off coal, and the result was that it was an exponential move. We saw natural gas trading for virtually the United States price times a factor of 3. And so that tells you that, regardless of what you think about energy prices, all sorts of unheard of things can happen when you're on the other side of a pandemic and you've got supply chain issues and you have a very disciplined OPEC and a very disciplined U.S. exploration production sector.
Yes, and Russian troops on the border of Ukraine with Russian gas flowing. Not to mention that.
That's probably bearish for oil. But again, we hope these bad things don't happen, because it might be that good news will be bad news for gas prices.